Goddard College requires its students to engage in a deep intellectual inquiry into issues of meaning and importance of this time. And this is the essence of every student's path to a program completion and graduation, and we're committed to helping them in that process. What they determined was that Abu-Jamal had a message that would help them in that exploration, and based on that, they made the case to invite him, and ended up inviting him to be their commencement speaker.
And this is a recorded message, so you had a chance to listen to that recorded message, and you're endorsing the message that he's conveying?
We endorsed his commencement speech before we listened to the speech. There wasn't any screening of that type, but we did subsequently look at the speech, and all that did was confirm that the issues that he brings forward, and brings them forward very thoughtfully, are worthy of our students' exploration.
What are some of those issues that he's talking about?
Well, Abu-Jamal, not that it's the commencement alone, he has much writing on topics that he feels are critical for us to consider as a society, including the black experience and race relations, social and criminal justice and their systems, social change, the prison system, and he also speaks highly about the importance of critical evaluation of those issues and bringing in many sides of the issue in order to understand it and come to a conclusion as to how to move forward.
So he's been described as a world-renowned activist. He's a Goddard alum. And as we mentioned, he's a convicted killer of a police officer in 1981. Although the likes of Nelson Mandela, Toni Morrison, and even Desmond Tutu question his conviction, have you heard from the parents of these graduates, or even some students who don't feel that his message will be appropriate, or that he is an invited speaker, that it's appropriate?
The commencement attendance is expected to be a full house. It would be wrong of me to say that this is a universally accepted principle, but I would say that it is widely accepted, his speech, giving the speech, widely accepted, maybe even, well, I won't say universally. I believe one student has come to my attention that may feel uneasy about it, but that's part of the process of exploration. You have to be able to look at issues that sometimes are difficult for people to look at. And so we're not dismissing that, and we certainly embrace the fact that somebody can feel that way, just as we do embrace the fact that the public can feel that way, that we are doing something that is incorrect. And we have to just go ahead.
Okay, and Mr. President, you know, among the opponents, the wife of the slain Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner, Pennsylvania's Department of Corrections secretary, and even CNN's Michael Smerconish, who had this to say.
Sadly, the idea that he would be a college commencement speaker is not unprecedented. It happened in 1999 in the state of Washington, and again in the year 2000 at a school in Ohio. I attended the second of those events with Maureen Faulkner in protest of what was taking place. And what I recall most from that experience 14 years ago was concluding that the students desperately wanted attention. They loved the media spectacle their invitation generated, which is why now I will not identify the Vermont college that on Sunday will disrespect a police officer murdered in the line of duty. It's bad enough that for 32 years, Abu-Jamal has succeeded in making it all about him.
So, Mr. President, I wonder if you could respond to that, and perhaps when the student body said this is who we want as our speaker, did you have any initial worries or concerns?
The response to that is, of course, that a lot of the concern that has been brought forward is by the way that the media, in essence, has looked at this as a unilateral kind of a purpose kind of action. You know, I would think, and I hope as we move forward, that the media does its job, and that is to look more deeply at what exactly Abu-Jamal says, his message, what he does, and so on. There's a lot to be had there. And as for the students being somehow in desiring some kind of a public stage that goes beyond their private explorations, Eventually, the answer to that is yes, but did it have anything to do with this selection? The answer to that is, as far as I'm aware, no. We have students that are older students. They are almost all experienced in the world. They are not the traditional 18 to 22-year-old students that you see on a typical college campus. Our average age of our undergraduates is 30 years old. They are adults. They do make decisions as adults. So I think that responds to that. There was a second part to your question. I'm sorry.
No, you've answered both of them, actually. Interim president of Goddard College, Robert Kenney, thank you so much for your time.